Blunt Talk with LT, episode 106. This episode's brought to you by StackWA.com, StackWA.com/shop. Make sure that you download every episode on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, all that shit. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on the podcast. We growing every day. We out here. Shout out to my subscribers. Shout out to my day one subscribers. Shout out to my new subscribers. We growing every day. Trying to get more episodes out. Trying to get more consistent as we wind down the summer. Summer's been a wild summer, even though it's been a COVID summer. You know, we out here doing our thing. So the episodes kind of generally slow up this summer, but we did a good job of keeping up the pace with the episodes. So we're gonna keep it going. What do we got here first? Okay, so Nick Cannon is suing Viacom for $1.5 billion, the estimated value of Wildin' Out, because he wants his Wildin' Out money. He wants the control of Wildin' Out. He cleared the way. I don't know how the paperwork was drawn up. I don't know how the contract was structured, but he built Wildin' Out from the ground up. He had to pay for the pilot. He had to pay for the entire thing to get it pitched to these different TV networks, and then Viacom picked it up. But he built it from the ground up, so I'm pretty sure he's fighting for the intellectual property of Wildin' Out. That's why he's suing for $1.5 billion, because he feels like that's what it's worth, and that's what they stole from him. So Nick Cannon's on the offensive when it comes to that. I don't know if he's actually going to win the $1.5 billion suit, because, once again, it's not public record how the contracts were structured, so I don't know how the contracts were structured to even have a say if he's going to win or if he has a chance or not. But it was evident and clear that he brought that show as a finished product or a building product to the networks as a pitch, so we know that's going for him. So hopefully Nick Cannon gets his bag. Hopefully he wins control or ownership of the show again, because they can't replace him and put these other hosts and try to act like, okay, we can maintain the same type of cast, but we're just going to have someone else host it. It's not going to work. Like, Wildin' Out is a Nick Cannon creation, so hopefully he wins that. What do we got next here up on the lineup of topics? Let's dive right into this video. Okay, so I'm not a big fan of everybody putting everything that they do on social media in real time. Like, people will be out, like, pretty much capturing their entire day and all their whereabouts, especially if you're a high-profile artist or you're someone around a high-profile artist, because Fabio Foreign pretty much almost got shot. His car got shot up. And for me, it's the people around him to blame. It's this guy, Guap Boy Trey, who is documenting his entire day. And let me just play the video and then react to it.
Got me outside. Crippin'. Pop out. Y'all niggas ain't never seen the bulletproof motherfucker.
20K.
Ooh, I got it on me too. 20.
That's the one that Socha started.
Which did
what? I thought
at the time to. Okay. And we bucking up. All right. That's why I told niggas, let's not move like this. Look at this shit. Already. We at 11:45. Shoot out. Shoot shit. Damn. Shoot shit. That fucking fast, bro. That fast. And they got my straps on the ground. Won't let a nigga get strapped. Look at this shit. Look at this shit, man. Look at this shit. You don't need to do with that. He just told me to get away. Damn. He told me to get out. All right.
spin the block and hit the curve and hit the
Yeah, 12. Hey man, somebody got them.
Okay, so that's one of the videos, which I don't understand how he's documenting that and he's shooting all that. She's recording the police running up on the car and show like there's guns on the floor and everything, and it's like he was spotted earlier in that snap with those two guns. I don't even know how this is possible. I don't know how he's not. I can't understand this. I don't know how to explain this. Let's watch the other video before I get in depth of what kind of fuck shit this is, because this is just baffling to me.
I'm everywhere it's motherfucking lit. Everywhere it's popping. If some shit pop off, yeah, nigga, I record it. So you can call me a fucking blogger. That's about it. You can call me a blogger, because that's what I be doing. I be blogging, and I'm a fucking news street reporter. I'm a reporter for the streets, nigga. Yeah, I record shit for the streets so you can see this shit. Y'all pussy ass folk, y'all be out there believing that bullshit on the news. The halftime news on that be right. You ask anybody who's yeah, so the news be doing all that foo-foo, fabricated ass shit. They don't even know the real what's going on behind the shit. But like I motherfucker said, because I ain't finna keep stressing my shit over there. Stay the fuck out my DMs, because I ain't even opening y'all DMs no more, because now this shit done got colossal. This shit too big. I'm not even entertaining you goofy ass niggas. I don't give a fuck what you gotta say. I don't give a fuck about your opinion. Like I stated before.
If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
I don't know. I wouldn't call him a blogger, a vlogger, a street reporter. I'll call that snitching. You're documenting all that shit. And if you're going to document everything that's going on, and niggas getting into shootouts and niggas have the straps on them and they rolling around and doing whatever, it's like you're not just documenting at that point. You're like snitching on your team, and you're kind of putting out all their business out there. And he almost got the motherfucker shot. So it's like you can't be chilling with this nigga. Like, Fabio Foreign needs to get this nigga from around him, because that shit that's wild. I don't even understand that. Like, why would you be documenting all that shit, and then when they get shot up or whatever, it's like, yo, you're putting locations out there in live time. Like, I understand some people want to document their whole day and be like, oh, I was here, I was there, and put it on the gram, but you don't do that shit in live time. Like, when you're at a spot, you're not supposed to take the picture or whatever, especially when you're in the streets like that. You're not supposed to take your video and post that shit up so the ops will run up on you and know where you at and who's there with you and shit. It's like, you can't be doing shit like that. You got to move smarter than that. And it's especially if you're running around with a mainstream artist, a rapper, a known person, a celebrity. You can't be doing shit like this. And as a rapper, you can't have niggas in your set that are going to do shit like this, because that's going to get you shot up. And the vehicle got shot up, and it's like, you wonder why. It's like you're putting out your location for the ops. I don't even understand that. But, you know, it is what it is. What else do we got here? Okay, so TakeOff is being sued by a woman claiming that she was raped in a party in June in LA. And for me, it's like, this is one of the stickier ones when it comes to reporting on these people being accused of sexual assault or rape, because the girl immediately went to the police, filed a police report, did a rape kit, did all of that shit. So it's like, and then people are saying, oh, why isn't she charging him criminally? And why is she going for the civil suit, the lawsuit first? So she's going after the money before she goes after criminal charges. Well, for me, the way I look at it, a lot of these rape cases in America are pretty much fucked up. It's hard to just charge somebody and put them behind bars and charge them criminally for rape. So it's like, most people are saying that it's easier for her to go get the civil suit if she can prove that, you know, he raped her in civil court and get that money. Then it's easier for her to press charges criminally. She went immediately to the police station and got a rape kit done. So I can't stand on the side of defending TakeOff for this. I just can't at this moment. I'm not going to judge him. I'm not going to be like, oh, you're a rapist, you a fuck nigga, you X, Y, and Z. But we gotta let more facts come in, because I'm not going to just shit on the girl's name, say she's a clout chaser, she's out for the bag, she's out for X, Y, and Z, because she went immediately. That's what most people's problems are when it comes to these sexual assault cases, that a lot of these girls are waiting 20 years, 25 years, and then it's like, how are you going to retroactively defend yourself against claims that are so old with no proof in the era or whatever? She went immediately to the police station, got a rape kit done. She got all that shit processed. So it's like, filed a police report. So it's kind of like, okay, if you went immediately, who am I to just say you're capping and you're clout chasing at this point? It's like, you went immediately. You're trying to protect yourself. You're trying to stand up against these sexual assaulters and whatnot. So at this point, you obviously got to wait until all the facts are out and the details are out before you put that label and that type of stamp on the man's name. But it's not looking good for TakeOff, in my opinion. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to stamp him. I'm not going to put that type of judgment on him. I'm not going to put any judgment on the woman. We'll wait until more facts come out and more details come out behind the incident, because she said, you know, they entered the bedroom and he was touching her ass, and she clearly refused his advances, but TakeOff flipped her over face down, pulled down her clothing, and raped her. That's her story. So, yeah, sticky situation, not a good look, but that's her story. Let's see what more details come out after the case settles. Okay, so if anybody watches the show and they haven't really got the premise of the show, or they don't understand what this show is, this is Blunt Talk with LT. It's a podcast chopped up into various clips. That's why you see short clips here and there, but it's full episode length podcast. And what I do here is I give my opinion on things that are permeating the news cycle, trending topics, what's going on, and what I see in my sphere of social networking or whatever. I just give my raw, blunt, unfiltered opinion. I don't have corporations, labels, or any of that shit promoting or spending money to try to sway my opinion. None of these artists or none of these celebrities pay me to give a favorable opinion, or I just give objective opinions on what the fuck I see. There's no bag behind it. There's no incentive to be nice to certain people. I don't give a fuck about none of these niggas in the industry or whatever. It is what it is. I have certain people that I'm cool with in the industry, but at the end of the day, I'm still going to give my objective opinion on what's going on. I'm not always right. If you're here because you feel like you agree with the most of my stances, that's cool or whatever, but for the most part, it's just like you should be here for raw, objective, unfiltered opinions, because that's what this show is. And I'm not always right. I was wrong about certain things. That's why I stopped speaking about basketball so much in sports on my podcast, because if I do, I'm going to have to be up here every day, because with sports, your opinions change, you know, every week, every day or whatever, as the performances sway your opinion, because with new facts and new information, your opinion's going to change. I was wrong about Carmelo Anthony. I said that he's a certified bench player or a role player for a team. He shouldn't try to be starting. He shouldn't X, Y, and Z. But clearly the Portland Trailblazers have fit him in a role where he's looking rejuvenated. But when I said that, Carmelo Anthony was fat and out of shape, and he was salting it up on OKC, salting it up on the Houston Rockets. So my opinion would have definitely changed. I didn't get time to speak on it because I kind of left the ball talks out of the podcast for a while. But clearly he's gotten in way better shape, and he's looking great with the Portland Trailblazers, who are now the 8th seed in the West going into the playoffs. So shout out to Carmelo Anthony. I'm not always right, but this is what podcasting is. This is what speaking is. You're not always going to be right. I spoke on Azalea Banks last week and said that, you know, she was just going through a rough breakup. That's why she cut her hair and blah, 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 because that was the information that was put out. But really and truly, it's a lot deeper than that. She was contemplating suicide. She had weird cryptic messages on her social media. So hopefully Azalea Banks gets the help that she needs to recover and not be in that suicidal place that she was in when cutting her hair and trying to, you know, restructure her life. She had a bunch of cryptic messages. I think I have some of them. Nope, don't have them. Whatever. But at the end of the day, hopefully she gets better. Hopefully she finds the help that she needs. And, you know, it is what it is. What else do we got here? Okay, so Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B put out the song W.A.P, Wet Ass Pussy. And we have all sorts of weird backlash coming from it. And I'm just like, okay, why you it's like they're trying to make some political stance. Like you see congresswomen and congressmen talking about the song, setting back the women's right movement and all this bullshit. I'm like, yo, this is hip hop, motherfucker. This ain't for you. This ain't for you. This ain't no feminist movement. Or it's not setting the feminist movement back. This ain't no. They're trying to say this gets in the way of female empowerment, saying this wet ass pussy song. It's like, this is hip hop, motherfuckers. This is why I don't like certain people speaking on hip hop, because they don't understand what hip hop is. It is not for you if you're taking it that direction and saying it's setting women back. Like, it's ridiculous. It's fucking music, you dumbass motherfuckers. So we have Ben Shapiro, famous pseudo-intellectual, proving every day that education doesn't mean intelligence. Let's see his take on the W.A.P song.
Here are some of the lyrics. You ready? Whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. Hold up. I said certified freak 7 days a week. Wet ass P-word. Make that pullout game weak. Yeah, you effin' with some wet ass P-word. P-word is female genitalia. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass P-word. Give me everything you got for this wet ass P-word. Beat it up, N-word. Catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this P-word right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top, I want to ride. I do a kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. This P-word is wet, come take a dive. It continues along these lines. And it gets significantly more vulgar. Like a lot more vulgar. Talk your S-word, bite your lip. Ask for a call while you ride that D-word. You really ain't never gonna F him for a thing. He already made his mind up before he came. Now get your boots and your coat for this wet-ass P-word. Pay my tuition just to kiss me on this wet-ass P... Right, so this is... Guys, this is what feminists fought for. This is what the feminist movement was all about. It's not... it's not really about, women being treated as independent, full, rounded human beings. It's about wet-ass P-word. And if you say anything differently, it's because you're a misogynist, you see. It gets really, really vulgar.
Okay, so Ben Shapiro is a political commentator. I don't understand why he's touching this. I don't know why he's getting into hip-hop and it gets more vulgar. And it's like, nigga, if you don't shut the fuck up and get the fuck out of here, this ain't for you.
Shit getting out of hand now.
Like, I don't understand this. Like, why are people, like, stay in your lane, little nigga? Like, I don't understand. This ain't for you. Like, your commentary, you're, like, no. Everybody just wants to jump on the hot topic because it's trending all over Twitter and people are, going crazy over the video and the song. It's like, this ain't for you. I don't have nothing more to really say about that when it comes to Ben Shapiro, but this ain't for you, so your opinion doesn't matter. At the end of the day, all these political commentators, these congressmen, congresswomen tweeting enraged about it, talking about feminist movement, like, seal your beak, fam. This has nothing to do with you. This ain't for you. This is hip-hop. This is sexual hip-hop music. When men do it, no one makes a big fucking deal. 50 drops Candy Shop, Lil Wayne drops Lollipop. Everyone does their fucking sexual songs when they're ready. It's like, yeah, there was outrage and backlash towards those songs, but they're all coming from people that aren't within the culture, that don't have any voice in the culture, that shouldn't have an opinion on the culture because it ain't for you. Okay, moving on. Speaking of the culture, I'm going to have to double up, triple up on the episodes this week because I don't have enough time to speak about everything on this show. But let's get into this because this has been going on. This was like from like last week's news pretty much. DJ Akademiks versus Adam 22 on Adam 22's show, the No Jumper show. They also did like a Twitch, like, it's like they shared shows. Like DJ Akademiks did his little Twitch stream, had it for his people. Adam 22 had his No Jumper show. They had it for his people. They both uploaded it on each other's pages or whatever. And the premise of the whole conversation was supposed to be Adam 22 apologizing for his interview with Selena Powell and his comments that made Akademiks look like a cuck. And Akademiks was in a rage and he came and he shouted at Adam 22. It was a 4-hour interview. I struggled to get through it. I had to watch that shit in parts because they were pretty much talking in circles and Akademiks was getting very loud and emotional, wouldn't let Adam 22 speak. He disrespected Adam 22's woman, Lena the Plug. He disrespected Adam plenty of times during the interview, but Adam 22 was pretty much trying to just apologize, and they clearly came in with two different motives. Adam 22 came in like, okay, I'm a friend, or you're a friend. We're trying to squash whatever squabble we have, and I apologize for my interview with what's that bitch's name again? Selena Powell. And he was pretty much trying to retract his statements because he let Selena Powell say a bunch of shit that she probably shouldn't have said or whatever. But really and truly, the story was true. And at the end of the whole like 3-hour, 4-hour conversation they had, he made sure to reiterate like she didn't really say anything that wasn't factually true. Like Akademiks brought Selena Powell to Tekashi 6ix9ine's place to try to stage a publicity stunt about them being in the bed together and 6ix9ine sleeping or whatever, just for publicity. And then what ended up happening was 6ix9ine went through her phone. Well, she let him see her phone or whatever, and seen her, you know, doing some sexual acts in the phone. So he wanted a piece of that because he's seen what the mouth do or whatever. So he's like, yo, he wants to pretty much get in on that. And she went downstairs, came back with a condom, and then they fucked or whatever. And Akademiks was mad about it because he's like, he's making him look like a cuck, like he brought his girl over and gave 6ix9ine the condom to smash. But the story is true in that regard. Akademiks was downstairs. She went downstairs to get the condom. I don't know if she got it from him, but, you know, she did smash. And what it really exposed was that Akademiks was in love with Selena Powell, because he talks about it like, okay, if I bring my girl that I'm in love with, he said that on the podcast too. It's like, yo, if he brings his girl that he's in love with and lets another nigga smash, then he's a cuck and it ruins his public image. And that's what he was so concerned about, his public image, which isn't a big image to begin with. I don't know what delusional world he lives in. He's a hip hop. He's a big hip hop media outlet. Like he built a big platform for himself, and then he's also on Complex as a hip hop commentator. He's pretty big in the actual sphere of hip hop, so people understand that he reports the news and he's a big outlet like that. But no one respects him like they respect or look up to certain rappers. No one looked at Akademiks like they idolize Akademiks. Like Akademiks is that guy. Like he's friends with a snitch. He's best friends with a snitch. He promotes the snitch. He sat up on Adam 22's podcast and defended the snitch and pretty much defended Adam 22's coverage of him and debated his coverage and acted like he was wrong for still covering him, although he doesn't fucks with him. But that's a whole nother story. He went into all sorts of different types of issues he had with Adam 22, but the crux of the entire interview was him being mad for looking like a cuck, and Adam 22 pretty much just rolling with whatever Selena Powell told him. But Selena Powell recently dropped a video explaining what happened, and she pretty much confirmed the same thing happened. Akademiks didn't deny that what happened in the room of Tekashi smashing Selena Powell, but he's denying that he actually gave her the condom or whatever, and he was supporting the whole thing, although he brought her to his house to stage a publicity stunt like they were fucking. So I'm kind of confused with that. But throughout the whole interview, what I gauged from it, or what I got from it, that is Akademiks actually had feelings for Selena Powell, and he was pretty much not claiming her as his girlfriend, but he makes comparisons all the time to Lena the Plug and Adam 22's relationship, and he's like, yo, but what would you do if Lena did X, Y, and Z, and Lena this is not. He keeps drawing the comparison. He kept trying to disrespect Lena, and it shows that he was hurt that Selena Powell actually did what she did with Tekashi 6ix9ine and made him look like a cuck. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It is what it is. That's what happened. You had feelings for her. You tried to hide your feelings, but you told on yourself various times during that interview that you had feelings. Because let's put it this way. If he had no feelings for Selena Powell and he was smashing her, but he brought her to the crib and he let his nigga fuck or whatever, it's like, that's not your girl. That's just not a girl you have feelings for. It was just some girl that you got head from and you smashed or whatever. So what would be the attachment? What would make you look like a cuck? None of that. None of that. He talks about the difference between white people and black people when it comes to these type of sexual interactions, and white people get away with certain things because they're culturally different, and black people can't get away with certain things because they'll get destroyed and roasted online for their actions. But really and truly, I don't see the parallel that he was trying to draw. He was making a lot of false equivalencies. Yeah, I'm fucking up that word. He's making a lot of false equivalences, and it just didn't make any sense to me. He was barking and shouting. He made himself look like a fool, to be honest. He made himself look like an emotional fool in that whole podcast. Adam 22 could have stood up for his girl a little bit more. Could have stood up for himself. He let Akademiks get away with a lot of disrespectful shit. But every time he tried to talk, Akademiks was like, Adam, and talking over him. And at the end of the day, Akademiks did admit if he was in person, that interview would have went different. He wouldn't have been shouting over him and getting into his Twitch mode character that he gets into, where he starts shouting on everybody drunk off the Henny. But for the most part, I don't know what public image Akademiks thinks he has. I think he thinks he's a rapper, or people look up to him like he's a rapper or he's someone cool or anything, but he doesn't understand that most people look at him like he's a cornball, like he's a loser, like he's a dweeb. He spoke about things that Adam 22 did in the culture vulturing type of stuff, but coming from Akademiks, like, he may have had certain points on certain things, But coming from Akademiks, it came through so hypocritically because he was someone that's not from the street that tried to perpetrate the street life and report on street shit and had niggas going back and forth with each other, killing each other for the clout and the coverage on his page. So coming from him, it didn't really land well, and it came across super hypocritical, although it wasn't an exact parallel. Like Adam 22 didn't do that type of stuff. Adam 22, he interviews a lot of upcoming rappers. They don't do the same things. That's why he made a lot of false equivalences and try to act like they do the same thing. They're two dudes within hip hop media, but they don't do the same thing. All right, I'm talking in circles like that interview now. The major point of that was that, Akademiks made himself look like a fool, but Adam 22 could have definitely done a better job of defending himself, his girl, and, the bullshit allegations that Akademiks kept bringing up throughout that interview. But for the most part, that was a W for the No Jumper podcast. They got more coverage. They got more eyes on them. And that was an L for Akademiks because he's looking like he's imploding. There's plenty of YouTube videos saying Akademiks lost his mind. Independent YouTubers going in on Akademiks saying he took the L in that he's losing his mind. This whole public perception shit in the comments are really getting to him. His chat niggas, his little group of people that he puts a lot of weight into their words. He puts too much weight into their words clearly because they're affecting him. And it's affecting his mental well-being and his place in hip-hop. So he needs to get the shit together. He's taking L's all over the place. Let me get into one reaction. I'm going to wrap up this episode. So let me get off of that. What do we got here? Okay, let's get into Jake Paul. Pause. Okay, so Jake Paul's house got raided by the feds. And the FBI used a SWAT team to enter Jake Paul's mansion in Calabasas on Wednesday and executed a search warrant as part of an investigation, a bureau spokesperson said. So that's the report coming from the New York Times. And his house got raided. They showed guns in his house or whatever. They were legal guns. He got raided because of his involvement in the protests and the riots and the looting. They're saying that he was influencing looting and, riots throughout the protests. So that's why his house got raided. And, Jake Paul was kind of, in shit for that. No reports on him being arrested or him facing any sort of charges, but his house was raided for those purposes. And it's like, I think that was kind of an overreaction. We got this video of the SWAT team pulling up on him with all the military. Here we go. Yo, they went deep as fuck to roll up on this guy's house. Like, that's crazy. They ran in his crib with 4 or 5 different units of 8 mans each. Like, jeez, they went super deep for that. Pause. But yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully Jake Paul gets through this. He didn't really do anything bad. I don't think he was inciting any violence or anything. He was just kind of there YouTubing and vlogging the experience that he did while he was marching for the Black Lives Matter movement. He's donated a bunch of money. He's been an ally, so I'm not gonna rag on Jake Paul. Hopefully everything goes good for him. A lot of people hate on a lot of these YouTubers and a lot of these people that garner a lot of attention, but I don't think it's really deserved. Yeah, that's it for the show. Make sure you subscribe to the show. Make sure you hit that like button. It helps the algorithm. Make sure you share the clips that you fucks with. It helps the show grow. We have a bunch of more episodes coming out this week. Actually, this time when I say that, I'm not capping. I'm not making an exaggeration. I'm definitely going to make the effort to put out some more episodes this week. I have a lot to respond to, a lot that I didn't get to into this episode. So we got more on the way. Blunt Talk with LT. Yeah.